What's going on, everybody? It's TekMuNNee. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. First time contributing to some MLB content and supporting Rambling and Gambling Empire. I'm excited. They reached out and said, hey, would you like to provide some content? I said, I don't think I have much to offer, but I definitely have experience, and I'm willing to talk about why I'm picking my leans and my takes. And I actually don't like leans. I'm here to more talk about why I'm betting what I'm betting. And this one's a little special because we also have new rules to get you started in the MLB season for the shortened season. So there's 3 key rules that you want to be aware of. And then I got a pick for opening day and a parlay for opening day. I'm already in the pick for opening day, and the parlay I'm going to lay sometime tonight or tomorrow, but I'm going to share it here first. I'm sure the line's going to start moving against me over it, but let's get into that. And then we're going to actually look at every game quickly and pick it except a couple, and I'll tell you why. And here's the thing. I'm a type of person that likes to look into analytics and metrics, player, pitcher, and batter matchups, even down to the pitching type matchup, which player can hit a slider, and what's the on-base percentage for that, and just all kinds of things. Barrel, speed, velocity, exit, wobas, and I'm just anything you think of. I love looking at a few different resources and making analytical judgments and taking my picks from there. So I'm here to just share what's inside my mind, and let's get right into it. Like I mentioned, there's 3 key rules that are changing for the 2020 season. And first of all, the National League's going to have a designated hitter. So that's key for you fantasy baseball players if you're not aware of that. Why? Because if you're aware of what's called stacking a team, which means if you take, or for your offense, for your fantasy lineup, a batting order. So let's say you're taking players on a specific team. Let's say you take the Oakland Athletics and you're going to take batters number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's a stack. Usually people like to stack 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Get a man on, start cleaning up, boom, 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 boom. You start racking up fantasy points if the matchup is there. Well, here, now that you have a designated hitter, you have the ability to stack at the bottom of the order, and usually in fantasy baseball, bottom of the order offers value because the salary's cheaper. So hint, something to keep an eye on with that. And you know there's some pounders out there in the National League. Just think of what the Dodgers can offer, right? So just keep an eye on that. Now, if you're one of those guys that's going to be wagering, only looking at the box scores and getting angry at who you're tailing, who you're following, you have another thing coming this year, because when you get into the extra innings, you need to know there's going to be a runner starting on second base. That changes the game entirely, or will it? Why do I think it changes the game entirely? Because if I'm a coach and I'm a team, I'm thinking just like this. If I start and I'm batting on extra inning and I got a man on second to start, I might be thinking of bunting the ball and trying to get that man sacked in the third, a sack out in the third. You have then a decision if the bunt's well, where the player's running the first and you got a man running the third, and you have a decision to make it first out. It's just perfect. It's great. Or if you got a power batter up and you got speed at second base, you can try to hit the ball deep, warning track, anywhere out. You got a sack out, and hopefully the man gets a third. If you have speed and the ball's in the right angle deep, you get a man to run in, and you already got a 1-run lead with 1 out. So that's something to think about that will change outcomes of games, I think. Will it matter for how you bet? No, because you're not going to probably go betting into a game. Oh, well, this will happen in the extra innings. But I will tell you one thing. I love betting money line. In baseball, when I feel I make a pick, now it's just me, it's my confidence over years, I will pay up juice for a money line, even though the team should win on 1.5. And most people won't play juice, and I understand that. This is my style because I've noticed I would have lost games more than not if I didn't do that. So this might favor me just by default because I'm already in money line, and if I'm in a tie game and the situation I described favors me, then I it's just favoring more the money line winning than a 1.5 overall. The chances are mathematically. And then there's a third one where I'm not sure if it really matters for us unless there's some live betting going on, but relievers, they have to face the full inning. They can't just come in for one batter unless it's the third out after replacing a starter or a multi-inning reliever. But those are 3 things. I think the top 2 you need to keep in mind of. And let's just get right into it. So on June 4th or 5th, I forgot the date now. It's posted on Twitter. I believe it might be, I'm sorry, July 4th or 5th. You notice I have now actually opened 2 tickets straight on the New York Yankees. I got them at about 125, minus 125, and basically my two total tickets are totaled at $2,300. I've been saving up money. That does not mean you're going to go heavy on the Yanks. So I'm not here right now talking about risk management or anything like that. I'm here to just give you tips and ideas of what my mindset's thinking. We're going to get into some things that I think may help you for the rest of the season if you're new and you may not have seen some of this type of information that I'm going to talk about. So I'm in already for 2,300 on the Yankees. I do like this play. Here's the thing. First of all, a lot of you folks been waiting for opening day. You're going to want to make a bet. You're going to want to have fun. This is a great game to get into it. Why not? Take one straight, go for it. I'm taking the Yankees. Yes, I respect Scherzer. Like I said earlier, we're not going to get too much into analytics and things like that for the opening part of this season, just because I do think it's going to be unique. And me relying on historical data on opening day in other years may give me confidence versus this year. This year's just different. So we're gonna build in the data, and we're just gonna go over basics and overview. So you might just say, oh, he's just picking games randomly, and that's fine if that's what you walk away with. But what I'm trying to say is stick with me. We're gonna start breaking things down, because this is what I've been doing for the last many years now, and it's been fun and successful. So, again, this is more of a fun play, but I do like it. I personally like the Yankees. I've been waiting. The day this game was announced, I was in. Yankees. Why? The offense is powerful. I do respect Scherzer. So let's just pretend Scherzer has a great outing, and so does Cole. You're still relying on offense. I think the Nats have given up too many people that we can just come in and say, boom, I'm going straight on the Nats just because they won the World Series. And you can't I don't think in this situation you can just bet on the pitcher against one of the best offensive powerhouses in the league. You got to take your emotions out. If you hate the team or not, I don't care. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with an offensive powerhouse, okay? So, yeah, you kind of want to take some leniency off one of the best pitchers in the game. And like we said, who knows what type of scenario these guys are going to be in opening day, at least pitching format. But the batters getting ready, they're in there. I've been checking some of these games out here and there, but a couple guys to keep an eye on that. And remember, Stanton's had 2 home runs on Scherzer. Doesn't mean the world, but to have a home run on Scherzer does mean something. And on the other end, just keep an eye. Trey Turner's always doing something, but I don't want to get too much in that. I'm taking the Yankees straight. I will be retweeting that post. I have that out there. And the next pick that I'm suggesting, so that's my official suggestion on this feed here through Ramblin' and Gamblin' Empire on my personal TekMuNNee suggestion. I think for opening day, opening game, for the spirit and the love of the game, you're gonna take action on this game. And if you're liking where I'm at, we're going with the Yankees. And it did jump up to 141 about almost a month. When it opened up, it was 125, and I loved it. Now the next bet I'm going to recommend, and I don't do too many of these, a parlay, is going to be our LA Dodgers. I'm going to skip in the Friday with our Reds, okay? These are the 2 official plays I'm going to have going in, and then we're going to go through each game to see if, you need any help with that. But this is beautiful. So on the right side of my screen, you take the Dodgers money line, Reds money line, plus 108. Here's the deal. Dodgers game, okay? The Giants, few players are out. They've decided they're not playing. I think Brandon Belt. Now I'm drawing a blank. I believe Brandon Crawford and so Brandon Belt and Evan Longoria, but I believe Brandon Crawford as well. One key bat you want to keep an eye out though on the great Clayton Kershaw. Just like the first game, 2 stud pitchers, man. I'll tell you what. But Hunter Pence, 36 appearances on Kershaw. And he's batting like 389, 390 with a home run. So, I mean, you got a nice bat there, man. He might be able to do something. But on the other end, some of these Dodgers, the numbers aren't that ugly on Cueto. So I think here you got to take advantage of one of the best pitchers in the league going against an overall weak offense. Nothing against the Giants, but also a broken down roster at the moment going in the opening day. You just got to go with the Dodgers here. And we can parlay them up with the Reds. Now, everybody's talking about the Reds. Why not? All right? Their offense on paper is powerhouse. Now, if you've been following baseball or especially playing fantasy, you're going back now a few seasons, Nick Castellanos has been a beast. Even when he was playing on the Tigers, if you're playing fantasy baseball, You were you were doing what I mentioned earlier. You were doing a stack on the Tigers, and it was helping you win some money because no one would take the Tigers. But if you knew how to do a nice little stack in there for cheap money, you get Castellanos and a couple players, and that allowed you to afford a very expensive lineup to pay for some pitching and get right up in there. So we're adding the Reds, so here's why. First of all, Sonny Gray. Got to go with pitching in this game, and I have a lot of respect for Matthew Boyd on the Tigers side. So this isn't saying, like, okay, it's just one-sided pitching. No, Boyd can pull it off. We know that. And again, we're not getting deep in analytics or anything like that, so we're just basic overview. So going into this game, the Reds on paper, the offense is just powerhouse. And you got to watch out for Mike Moustakas. I didn't double check, but I think he's playing. Batting about 383, 382, 21 at-bats if I remember, home run. So having him there, and remember, where are they playing? It's called Great American Ballpark. I actually think that's a typo. I call it Great America Small Park. It's a very small park. It's a home run friendly park. When you got power on the side of Cincinnati with the type of batters they've added and what they have, you're already going into this game against the Tigers. Your bats are in favor. Sure, Tigers bats, I do feel overall, are weaker going against a Sonny Gray. I think the advantage here, highly on the Reds with pitching and the bats. You just got to take them. You cannot argue a nice parlay at basically even money for Dodgers and Reds. And folks, I am looking, and again, please do not do this because of my money size. I would just recommend a unit each. I don't know who you are and type, and I don't know what type of strategy you're trying to do, go all out for the year, every game, or just play this opening weekend, but it's fine just doing a unit here. I'm thinking of going heavy. I've been waiting all year. I saved up money to do 2 or 3 big heavy plays for opening day. I'm already in on the Yankees with profits I made playing other sports early in the year. Like I said, that's posted on Twitter. I have it retweeted. And then I'm going to play this game. I'm thinking about putting between $800 to $1,000. And again, that shouldn't mean anything to you. I'm just mentioning it because I like transparency. That's what I'm going to do. It's not in yet. I should have it in by tomorrow. And again, I'll be posting it. So these are my official plays. Yankees straight. All right. Yankees straight. And then parlay Dodgers with the Reds. All right. That's my official content I want you to be aware of. Just those 3 things to start the season. And then these 3 plays. And now let's just kind of quickly go through the game. Again, I'm going to start breaking things down the way I see it. If I get information from source A, B, C, or D, I'm gonna put it all together. Whatever my judgment is, whether or not I was sharing content or even on Twitter or social media or not, I'm going to be making these bets as I was back in the day. Now I'm just going to share what's in my mind, and that's what I'm going to do here. Right off the bat, a game I'm probably skipping, but I want to watch big time is the Braves and the Mets. Why? Because I have a biased opinion in Soroka. I love Soroka. I was one of the first guys I know in my area, at least just people I network with, even going to the books at Harris and Chester, Pennsylvania, betting with Soroka. And, oh, man, sometimes the offense didn't come through last year, but it was beauty. Some of them were gems. Soroka's an animal. And then you got DeGrom. The offenses should both be there, and that's why they're almost at a pick 'em. I'm just staying away from that game, so that's my opinion. If someone has a strong opinion, go for it. But like I said, I'm just trying to make a clean sheet for opening day. We're going to skip right through that. We already talked about the Tigers and Reds. So we're taking the Reds in the parlay. Blue Jays, Rays. I got to go with the Rays. Again, if you look at on paper, the Rays offense is stacked up, looking strong, beautiful. You know, you got to be excited to see what the Rays can do. I'm already assuming if you're watching this, you're a baseball fan, so you're probably already looking at the Rays. And Charlie Morton. You got to support Charlie Morton. He's getting up there, 13th year in a career. But I think he knows how to get the job done. Again, Rue, I think the pitching on Rue, definitely there. But we're just doing basic overview. If I have a gun to my head and I'm taking one game here, and again, to me, money line 167, yeah, call me a game. I'm taking this. To me, this is who I would, this is my, so on this video I'll call it a lean since I'm not officially betting these games, but this is what I'd pick. I may put actually one silly lotto parlay together with all my likes, so that I may do, but that's not something official I'd share. Marlins, Phillies, I skip because I'm a hometown person. I'm from the Philadelphia area. I live in South Jersey. So one rule I made many years ago, back in about 2008 wagering, I don't bet home teams because there's biasness involved. But I'll tell you what, Phillies have an exciting offensive lineup on paper. Remember, it's a small ballpark, so runs can go both ways. But Nola's supposed to be a stud. Assuming Nola shows up, and even let Alcantara show up. By the end of the game, the better offense is supposed to win at that point. You just got to go with the Philly batters overall with that. So you got to take Philly. Again, that's a game I'm skipping. So if I'm doing that parlay idea, I'm not throwing the Phillies in there, just so you know, right? Brewers, Cubs. Wow, the way DraftKings is stacked up. All my skips are on here. I was looking at another slate, and the skips are at the bottom. Brewers, Cubs is one that I think the Brewers are going to win, but I'm skipping that game. I just think it's tough for me to pick, and I'm trying to have a clean slate. So my lean's on the Brewers, but I'm nervous about it. Now, one key thing to remember to learn about the year, if you're newer with this stuff, Chicago, Wrigley Field, you definitely have to pay attention to the weather. And you can say, no, that's obvious. No, what I mean by weather at Wrigley Field is you need to check the wind gust coming into the field. If it's coming into center field, it can help with the specific scenario, pitchers and scenario with the batters to keep the under. So you'll notice fluctuation in an over-under at Wrigley Field. And you can use that to your advantage depending on who you're pitching. If you got a stud pitcher and the metrics are showing he does not give a lot of what's called hard contact percentage, but let's say he gives up a lot of ground ball percentage and a few other combinations, you can get these statistics, and it's a 20 to 25 to 30 mile an hour wind gust coming into the field from center, that's going to help keep that ball and the hard contact stay in. So that's just giving that pitcher even more of a boost. Depending on the scenario, you might like the Cubbies that much more that day. So that's why we're talking about these games. We're getting you ready for the year, just not the opening slate. And that's why I'm sticking to my 3 games I like. Yankees straight and that parlay. Sit back and just let's learn how the season develops. It's going to be fun. It's going to be unique. Skipping that one, though, but that's where my lean is, the Brewers. I just think Kyle Hendricks, I'm nervous about Kyle Hendricks. That's why I didn't give you really a reason why my lean's there. But Brewers offense, Cubs offense, sure. But I think I'm going at that point, just giving some favoritism to Woodruff. And I know some may disagree, and I get it. It's, again, opening day, tough day. So Royals, Indians. On paper, I'm going right at the Indians. But I'll tell you what, if there's a game that would surprise me and have me wrong, just watch opening day somehow. That Royals offense pumps in a few runs, gets it done somehow. That's what I was nervous about. But the Indians should win. They should win. So this might be one I'd probably skip. Just why would I pay $230 when I got a better lean? If I'm going to just pick one game on a money line right now, because again, remember, I like money line in baseball. I'm going to go with the Reds I'm going to scroll up a bit, at 182 over the Indians. I'm more worried about the Royals offense than I'm worried about the Tigers offense, even though we're in Great America Small Park. Indians are in a smaller park too, if you think about it, for certain batting. So my opinion there, I'm skipping that. But Orioles, Red Sox, overall, I just got to go with the Red Sox. I think that you just throw it onto that parlay. There's not much to talk about here. Orioles did get a nice bat. I'm forgetting the gentleman's name right now, but it'll come to me. But they gotta do this. He's a stud. But I think overall we already know what Boston can do, and it would just be foolish for me to just take that Orioles team until we really see a change in that whole overall organization. All right. Next game. I'm liking the Rangers. I think Lance Lynn gets the job done. This is a game where many might say skip if you're skipping others. I don't know. I'm feeling the Rangers at home. I think they get the job done. Again, we're not getting into detail in this video. We're just a lot of overview, just get the brain working and thinking. When I looked at the batting matchup, some of these guys haven't faced each other. The Texas Bats haven't faced Marquez yet, but I think they'll show up. Remember Sin Choo Choo, man. When he gets moving. He gets moving, that ball gets going, and so does Joey Galloway. Don't forget Joey Galloway. So, boy, I think those two guys have not faced this pitcher. So it'll be interesting. And some of the batters that have faced Lynn have been shut out, man. I remember seeing on the slate, I think 3 or 4 guys don't have a hit on this guy. So Lance Lynn should just be able to keep the score low if he does what he's supposed to do. And I'm thinking, even if German keeps it up, you're going to see some you're gonna see some bashing coming from Chew or Gallo. I mean, geez, you'd be a fool thinking you can't. So that's why I'm sticking with Texas in that game. Now this next game is my favorite of the night, I think. Twins and White Sox. Remember, these are Friday night. Only 2 games for Thursday. Twins and the White Sox. I think it could be if it's a pitching battle, I still then lean with the Twins. I think the bats on the Twins can slightly get it done. I'm going to get a lot of hate. I know a lot of people that follow me and support me are White Sox fans out there. And I'm excited to see the White Sox too. But that's the thing. They should be able to win the first game with Lucas Giolito on the mound. But remember, a couple years ago, he was getting lit up. But then he was playing hot too. So if the pitchers get the job done here overall, I think the Twins can still squeeze it through. And I know I'm going to catch heat for that. But this might be a game, if on that parlay, I might have to skip. Before I was doing the video, I was thinking, yeah, I'll throw the Twins on there. But you know what? We're already looking at plus 318, and we already got the Rangers in there. Let's skip that one. But I'm leaning Twins. This might be a pride game. Who are you really rooting for more of a fan? And I want to see the Twins do it. I've been let down by the White Sox in the division a lot. And I know everyone's saying this is their year, but I think in a shortened season with some of the issues they have at the pitching, after that top spot in pitching, I think those next guys, if they're in trouble a little bit. We know that, some issues here and there. I think through the year in that division and just through the year, I think some of them other teams are going to creep up in front of them, and it's just going to be, it might not be it. And I think it'll be great to see how it goes right here on the first game. So I'm skipping that one. Next game, I'm just taking the Cardinals. It's just, every time if I ever try to go against the Cardinals, you know what they do. We don't even need to talk about that. You're either a Cardinals lover or you hate them because they've done something to you in the money game, because they just somehow consistently win. So I'm not going to break that down at all much more than that. And here, I'm not taking, you're going to think of this. Listen, I'm not taking Astros because of Verlander pitching, nor because they were at the World Series. And forget the cheating scandal. I'm not here to talk about that. Not because they were there. I'm taking the Astros because that Mariners offense to me scares me. That offense really scares me this year. I'm looking to beat up on this team and Detroit betting this year. Off the paper, off the bat. Things can happen through the year. We adapt. But those are two things. Again, the point of this video is try to get your head thinking, get your awareness up. Those are two teams you might want to write down to just say, hey, bet against Seattle, bet against Detroit, and then adapt to it. See how it's going with you, how it's working out. So, boom, Astros, throw it on the parlay. Again, we're just throwing this on fun. We're just putting a parlay together for fun to see if I throw like $10 on it or something. But we're doing it more to say this is what we picked, through the show. And I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click it on singles, and then we'll click it on parlay at the end. So anyone joining or hopping around doesn't get confused there. Next game, taking the Padres. Yes, I have respect for Bumgarner and the Diamondbacks, but I think the Padres here, just that batting, I think can get it done. If the pitching shows up both ends, I got to go with the bats more, leaning towards Padres. That's just where I'm at. This next game, oh my, I'm skipping because I got too much pride in this. First of all, I'm an Angels fan a little bit. Why? Mike Trout grew up in my area, miles away in South Jersey. So he's from the area, and a lot of us just followed him ever since, and it's just a coincidence he's the best player in the world. Of course, we're lucky they're saying he's the best player in the world. Some people hate on that, but so I just always support Trout, and that's why I like watching the Angels. And then from growth, I'm an Athletics fan, and I just kind of like to see, I like watching Chris Davis. He had a rough year last year. I think I'm excited to see what they can do on offense. There's mixed feelings there. So it's just a game I'm skipping. So one thing to learn, I take a lot of emotion, pride, and mental decision-making out of, not mental, but biasness decision-making out of my picks. And what it does is, the key here is a lot of people that get into betting will just start putting picks together and want to get rich overnight. That's not the key. The key is almost at some point basically realizing what's the percentage of not losing money. You're basically stepping into the day because you're feeling risky, so you're going to put money on the table. And then at that point, the next decision is what's the highest percentage of not losing money. And in the baseball game, you have two outcomes, so it's 50-50%. That's right. So then you're just picking off of analytics and your gut sometimes and information. And for me, less is more. When you add more, that's variables to lose. If I do one game and then do an over whatever, Why add two variables to win one outcome? Just do one outcome. If you're confident your homework's there, you're going to win more than not. You're going to be above 65, 70%. That's the goal. And you're going to, or higher. I've seen it. But I'll keep it, realistic more here for the conversation. You want to have less is more. So what I did was immediately take out home teams, some of my emotional teams, and I'm already dealing with a small slate. So notice that's why earlier in the show, like I said, Yankees straight, don't have too much emotion on it, easy for me to take. I don't have to worry about it once I'm in the bet. The parlay, confident on it. If it doesn't work out, bottom of the 8th, 2 hits, 9th, we shut out, and you lose the bet, I get it. Things happen in baseball. When you're doing football on any given Sunday, y'all have seen it. So, again, the 3 pieces of information in the beginning is a key to this video from TekMuNNee to the viewers and the content Rambling and Gambling to open up this MLB season, which is the DH, the runner starting a second in extra innings, and the situation with the reliever pitching. And then my main pick, which is the Yankees, you'll find that post, I believe it's July 4th or 5th. I have $2,300 roughly on there in 2 tickets, Yankees straight. And I do recommend just do Yankees straight. Boom, have fun. Or if you don't believe in my pick, that's fine. Do what you want to do, but pick that game by itself and let's enjoy this pure American sport we got going here. All right? And then the next pick I'm giving is the parlay. And again, I'm not a big fan of parlays, but this is opening day. You can bend the rules that day, especially with this setup. You take the Dodgers and you take the Reds. You're getting plus 108. Hey, you can't go wrong with those 2 picks right there. The Yankees are about minus 140. The parlay's plus 108. These are the leans on the right side of the screen for single games. If you're from that area and thinking about betting it, that's where I'm heading if I was doing it. I'm not going to put money on this, but these are the picks I'd be making. These are the picks I have on Flip Pick, for example. I'm going to be trying to submit things. So, just so you know, this, if I had to pick one of these games, if I was betting this, those are my picks. But I might have fun and throw them all in a parlay for maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks. So that's something to think about. If I do that, I will share and post that. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I'm TekMuNNee, sharing content from Rambling and Gambling Empire for the MLB opening day and day 2, Thursday, Friday, and to kind of get you ready for the season. And like I mentioned, it's a very basic overview. As the year progresses, I'm going to give more analytical and detailed breakdown of why I'm taking a game or why I'm tailing a game, who I'm getting information from, yada, 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 yada. It's going to be a big bundle of knowledge that I'm going to try to share here over like the many years I've gotten into baseball. And I've been wagering since fall of 01, but heavy in baseball since about 2012. And I was doing heavy fantasy with DraftKings, even got called into their VIP email account thing and all that stuff. I don't even know if that tier exists nowadays, but it was all a fun ride. So I want to put all my knowledge out there and help you guys cash tickets and just do a better job and be more analytical at your picking versus just tailing somebody or some random thing. You can do this too. Let's get this money. Stay green. I'm TekMuNNee. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Check us out at Rambling and Gambling Empire. Good luck.